Vice President and Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris received a surprise endorsement today.
That's right. Russian President Vladimir Putin telling a crowd at an economic forum that he preferred Harris winning November's election. Keep in mind, though, U.S. intelligence reportedly believes Russia prefers a Trump victory because of his views on Russia's ongoing war against Ukraine. Now, those comments also came shortly after the Biden administration accused Russia of a widespread election interference campaign.
CBS News foreign correspondent Ian Lee joins us with more from our London bureau. So, Ian, if U.S. intelligence says that Putin actually wants Trump to win, why did he endorse Harris?
Oh, Lana, President Putin made these remarks with a smile, I should add, at that economic forum. He knows the world is watching. So first, we do need to remember that Putin is a former intelligence officer for the KGB. He sees the United States as an adversary, and he'll do whatever he can to create chaos in America that benefits him. So any statement should be taken with a grain of salt. The Russian government has been behind election interference, not only in the United States, but here in Europe, as well as around the world. And yesterday, the Justice Department accused two Russian nationals who work for a Moscow-controlled news network of funneling millions of dollars to an American media company. That company then paid right-wing influencers for videos that push the Kremlin's narratives. That's according to the allegations. So when it comes to President Putin and who he wants to see in the White House, there seems to be a disconnect between what he says and what he does.
And on that point, Ian, Putin also said he's ready to hold peace talks with Ukraine. You've done extensive reporting and recently from Ukraine. But there's been this onslaught of Russian munitions to Ukraine in the past week or so. Should this be believed? Because it's based on a deal that was reached in Istanbul in 2022, and they didn't agree to the terms then. So what should we make of his comments now?
Yeah, Errol, this is really interesting because all of a sudden we're hearing talks of peace from both Moscow and Kyiv. President Putin said today that China, India, and Brazil could act as potential mediators, albeit I don't think anyone would see Beijing as a fair arbiter. They've been supporting Russia's war effort, but that aborted deal you talked about and he was referencing was discussed in the first weeks of the war while Kyiv was in shock from the invasion. Now, details were never made public, but documents that were shared with the New York Times shed a little bit of light on what Russia wanted, which is Ukraine handing over 4 regions in the east, that is Zaporizhia, Kherson, Luhansk, and Donetsk. There's certain laws in Ukraine that they wanted to appeal, and for Ukraine to forego NATO membership. Kyiv wanted Russia to pull all its forces out of the country, EU membership, and security guarantees that would draw in other countries to defend Ukraine if it was ever attacked. But those peace talks quickly broke down. And when it comes to talks from Kyiv, President Volodymyr Zelensky just reshuffled his cabinet to help what he is calling his victory plan. He's expected to present that to President Biden later this month. Part of that plan involves Ukraine's offensive in Russia's Kursk region, possibly setting up a land swap, but the other details haven't been made public. Errol, Lana?
Can Putin be believed? Ian Lee, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ian.